So, if you think AI is all about just asking a chatbot a question, well, get ready for a pretty huge upgrade. We are moving from an AI that just talks to you to an AI that actually does things for you. Today, we're diving into the next big evolution in this space, the rise of what we're calling AI agents. Right, so what does come after the chatbot? A lot of people are already calling 2025 the year of agentic AI. And that's because we're seeing this fundamental shift away from simple conversation and towards real, tangible action. The big question is no longer just what can AI tell me, but what can AI do for me? And that brings us to the star of the show, the AI agent. So what is it? Well, at its heart, an AI agent is a system that can understand a goal you give it, create a plan to get there, and then, this is the key part, take multiple autonomous steps to actually achieve it. It's not just fetching information anymore, it's actively interacting with the digital world to get stuff done. And this is where the difference really clicks into place. Think of it like this. A chatbot is for conversation, right? It's an information exchange. But an agent is for execution. It completes tasks for you. You could say that if a large language model is the agent's brain, then having tools, like control over a web browser or your apps, those are its hands. Okay, here's our game plan for today. First up, we're going to decode the early adopters. Who is actually using this stuff? Then we'll peek at the agent's to-do list. What are people using it for? We'll see where it all fits into our lives. And finally, we'll zoom out and look at the bigger picture. So who are these pioneers, these first movers? To figure that out, we're looking at a pretty groundbreaking study from the team over at Perplexity. They analyzed hundreds of millions. Yeah, you heard that right. Hundreds of millions of interactions with their own AI agent, Comet Assistant. And this gives us the first real large-scale look at how this new tech is actually being used out in the wild. And the very first thing that just jumps out from the data is striking. The true early adopters, we're talking about users who got access before it was widely available, they were twice as likely to consistently use the technology compared to people who joined up later. And get this, it's not just that they try it out more often, it's about a real commitment. Those same early adopters were a whopping 9 times more active. This shows that for them, this isn't just a cool new toy. They are deeply, deeply integrating these agents into their daily workflows. Now, if we zoom out to a global view, these charts here reveal a really clear pattern. There's a strong positive correlation between a country's adoption of AI agents and its GDP per capita, which is basically a measure of its economic health. And we see the exact same kind of trend with education levels. So what this means is that users in wealthier, more educated nations are jumping on these tools a lot more quickly. So what does a typical early user actually look like? Well, based on the data, they're almost certainly working in a knowledge-heavy field. Folks in digital technology, like software developers, they make up the biggest slice of the pie at 28%. They're followed pretty closely by people in academia, so students and researchers, and then you've got financial services, marketing, and entrepreneurs. Okay, so we've got a pretty good profile of the early user. Now for the really fun question. What are these people actually asking their AI agents to do? What's on the to-do list? This tree map gives us a fantastic overview. I mean, you can see everything in here, from managing social media to online shopping, but just look at the 2 biggest blocks over on the left. You've got productivity and workflow and learning and research. Put those 2 together and they account for over half, a massive 57% of every single thing these agents are being used for. And this bar chart just makes that point crystal clear, doesn't it? The main reason people are adopting this tech isn't for fun or for social media. It's a deep-seated desire to be more efficient at their jobs and to learn things more effectively. It's all about offloading some of that mental heavy lifting. So what does that look like in the real world? Well, here are the top 5 specific tasks. We're talking about very practical stuff, like getting help with homework exercises, or instantly summarizing a bunch of dense research papers for a project. Things like editing documents or filtering through thousands of product reviews online, these are concrete, everyday things. All right, so now that we know the what, let's dig into the where. Are these tasks happening at the office, for school, or are they just part of our personal lives? The data shows it's really split across all 3 areas, but our personal lives take the lead with about 55% of the usage. But what's really fascinating is how the type of use completely changes with the context. In a professional setting, it is all about productivity. For education, it's laser-focused on learning. And then in our personal lives, it's a mix of absolutely everything, from getting chores done to shopping and entertainment. Okay, let's pull back for a second and look at the bigger picture here. What do all these early patterns tell us about where this technology is actually going? This chart shows a really cool evolution in how people use this stuff. When users first start out, they might use an agent for something pretty simple, like planning a trip. But over time, as they get more comfortable, they start to delegate more complex, cognitively oriented tasks, things related to productivity, learning, and their careers. It suggests that, as our trust in these agents grows, we're willing to hand off more and more demanding mental work. But, and this is a big but, with this powerful new capability comes a really serious warning from the researchers themselves. They're concerned that because adoption is so much higher among more educated and wealthier groups, AI agents could actually make existing gaps in productivity and learning even wider, creating a whole new kind of digital divide. That's definitely something to keep an eye on. So if you remember one thing from all of this, let it be this. We are witnessing a fundamental shift in what we expect from AI. The era of AI as just a conversational partner is evolving. We're now entering the era of AI as a capable, task-oriented assistant that gets things done. And that leaves us with a pretty profound question for the future, doesn't it? As these agents get better and better at doing all the things on our to-do lists, what will we, as humans, choose to do with all that reclaimed time, energy, and focus? That's something I think we're all going to be figuring out together.